going to plug in our power source into the Arduino and then pass that power source to our breadboard. So in order to program, we're going to use something called an Arduino. Have you guys heard of an Arduino before?
Yeah. Arduinos are really popular in like hobby toys like drones and RC toys. And a lot of the latest like designs, even robotic spiders, they use microprocessors like that.
They're like hobbyist microprocessors that you can easily program one to do whatever you want with it.
Arduino is a microcontroller, like a microprocessor, and there are different types of Arduinos that are available, but the benefit of using an Arduino is that you can program whatever you're looking to do. So it could be as simple as programming an LED to blink, to turn on or turn off, to something like we did today, where we programmed a motor, and that motor was operated by using a potentiometer, or what we call the pot.
So now if we move the pot,
when you turn that pot, the motor turned accordingly. So there's a huge variety of projects that you can do with Arduino.
your motor will be plugged into these wires.
The beauty of Arduino is that your limitation on the project comes from your own limitation on creativity. What is it that you want to do? What do you want to plug in together? And how do you want to make it work? If you want to build an Arduino project, instead of going into the nitty-gritty details of the language, just in your regular language, write down what you want. So at least you have that recipe down, and from there you can build the detailed language.
You need to somehow be able to control this motor that's going to work your arm. And that control is going to come off of a pot. So this pot is a little instrument which, upon turning, tells this motor how to turn. I'm going to first plug in our ground. So our negative port is going to go into our ground over here. So with Arduino, it's just a simple plug and chug over here.
It's interesting as an instructor to see how we can troubleshoot it. Maybe we needed to make modifications in the trebuchet itself. We had one test where the arm was too heavy. The students went into it, they modified the arm, and then we had another where maybe it wasn't flinging correctly, so we tried to swap out the Arduino, we tried to swap out the motor. It's actually nice to give that opportunity to students to say, look at a problem that I have and try to find solutions to how I can make this better, how I can make it work. It was really interesting to see those students work together and figure out how to solve that problem. It took a very long time for them to figure out what they needed to do, but once they realized what was needed, they were able to finish their trebuchets that much quicker. Regardless of how big or how small you're making the group, you have several different minds that are working together, and as we could see with some of the groups here today, they were bouncing ideas off of one another. So if one of the students had a really good idea on what they would have wanted to do, but couldn't really figure out how to put those connect pieces together, then the other student might be able to jump in and say, hey, why don't we try this?
So it seems like you made that extension longer so the ping pong ball can fit in, right?
Yeah.
With this, we can definitely see that there's consistency.
Arduinos have actually made using computer programming skills a little bit more accessible. And it's sort of like a small stepping stone to help kids move on further and practice their computer programming skills.